Hey everyone, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in this tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. I want to do a better intro to today's video because I don't think I did it justice when I actually filmed it. Today I'm going to introduce you to an amazing woman named Zia. She has a YouTube channel called Chasing the Moon RV, and her and her little puppy Charlie have just started full-time van life. So what I find so inspirational about Zia, well, there's so many things, but what I really am just blown away by is how adventurous she is. Like, she is retired, she is a woman of a certain age, and she has just decided to give up her apartment and move into her rig full-time. The thing is, for so many people who choose the lifestyle of a nomad, a vehicle dweller, either a camper, schoolie, RV, tiny house, if that's the choice, there is more than just adventuring at play. And for Zia, one of the things that she told me was that making this decision allowed her to have the financial resources to do so many more things in her life right now. And I just found that amazing that somebody would be so brave and willing to challenge themselves. Now, you'll see her rig is really sweet and so cozy and comfortable. It's not brand new. It's not one of these brand new Sprinter vans that's been all professionally fitted out. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But here's someone who took a used RV, camper van, and made some adjustments to it, decorated it beautifully so that it fits for her lifestyle, and off she goes. So I had such a wonderful time visiting with her. Now, she and I have been talking for, oh gosh, a couple of years now online, but we have never met. We almost met once in Calgary before I moved, but it just didn't work out. And now that she is full-time van life, she was on the island and we managed to meet up. She actually spent the night in her rig beside the tiny house here, and we had such a good visit. And Charlie is such a little sweetheart. Sophie, on the other hand, was not as enamored with him as, as I am, but she's not going to be enamored with anything else that's furry and four-legged, let me tell you. But she stayed up on my bed. Charlie was only in the house for a little while to visit. Anyways, we had an awesome evening and morning, and she actually did a little tour of my van as well for her channel. So I'm going to link her channel down below, and I highly recommend that you go and check it out, because what you're going to find there is a realistic depiction what it means to make this decision to give up your sticks and bricks apartment or house and move into your rig full-time and start to live this lifestyle. And it's awesome to watch her videos. They're so entertaining, but also so comforting. She's just got such a calm way about her, and I love the way she approaches the world. So I'm going to now go back to the video that I filmed with her, because I wanted to do her justice by doing a proper intro. I have a guest.
Hello.
A fellow YouTuber. This is Zia from Chasing the Moon RV and her dog,
Charlie.
Charlie. We finally are together here on Vancouver Island before I move, and I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to introduce you to Zia and her channel and her beautiful, adorable little pup, and we could tour her rig.
First of all, I want to thank Adelina for having me on her channel. I'm really happy to be here and finally meeting. Luna, my van, is a 1994 Class B. She's a Dodge Ram Royal Coach. And I've had her for, I guess this is my second year now. Last year I took her on a 4.5-month road trip across Canada, down into the States and back, and decided that it was time to go full-time after that trip. So come on in and have a look at my home. So this is my living room right here. I usually keep the seat swiveled, and when I'm traveling, I have a carrier that sits on there for Charlie. I have a little bit of storage up here, not a lot, but I keep papers and tea lights and things like that up there. I love these extra windows. They're private, but they bring in a lot of light. There was another seat here, but I obviously, being on my own, didn't need 3 seats. So my son-in-law took it out and built this wooden box, and this little container holds all of my clothes. And he's going to build it up a bit so that I can make this an actual bench for people to sit on. On this shelf I have a Berkey water filter, but being on Vancouver Island, I knew I was going to be close to fresh source of water all the time, potable water, so I left it at home and turned it into a bookshelf for this trip. So this is the container that I keep the pine pellets in for the toilet. They absorb really well, there's no odor with them, and they just work great. I tried using kitty litter at first, but it wasn't good, so I just moved that out of the way. I keep an extra jug of water in there. Move these out of the way. And I have a perfect place to sit and eat, to work on my laptop, or just for extra counter space. So this gives me so much counter space, especially with the little cover on the sink. Don't need any more than that. I do have black water and gray water tanks, but I don't use them. I also have a water heater, and I don't use that either. So I don't actually use the tap. The sink I use for storage of kitchen items, and when I want hot water, I have jugs of water with me, and I just boil the kettle. Keep it simple. I didn't want to be dealing with black water tanks, so I had to bring this with me. It was a birthday present. It's where we always stay in Cultus Lake in BC, and I'm going to miss it this summer, but I'm bringing it along with me. So this is a privacy curtain, and sometimes I don't put any blinds up on the other windows. I just pull this curtain around, and it's all that I need. People look in and they just see a dark curtain there, and I'm not worried about the privacy. I have a toilet closet, and as I say, I don't use a black water tank. So what I do is I put compostable bags in the toilet and pine pellets, and just dispose of it the way you would dispose of your dog's droppings. But I try to use it only in emergencies. So I put those shelves up while I was on the trip. I had everything in these bags, but it was just too hard to get in there with those bags in there. So I used file folder boxes to keep cleaning supplies on one side and toilet paper and things on the other side. Microwave up here, I took it out just before I left for this full-time van life, and I couldn't believe how much space there was, and it was all finished inside as well. It's finished the wood, it has more of this fabric in here, so I've got all my pots and pans, a kettle, a toaster, and this little pot usually fits in there too. This drawer has all my dishes and cups. The fridge is a propane fridge, holds quite a lot. And the stove is a 2-burner propane as well. I also have a furnace, which at the moment is only blowing cold air, and I don't know why, but it usually keeps it very toasty in here. There's a thermostat on the wall right next to my bed, so that works great. More storage under the sink. This little cupboard is sort of like a pantry and a junk drawer, and it holds quite a lot.
You need a junk drawer even in a van?
Even in a van, yeah. I have 2 drawers, cutlery, cookware. Extras, dog things go under there. Under the bed, there are two more of the boxes, like I have my clothes in, but smaller ones just for extra things like mosquito nets and stuff like that. Lily's bed, it's always down next to mine. And then I have a roof vent, but I'm looking into getting a Max Air fan installed when I get back to the mainland. So I do have a closet here. So I've got camp chairs, hand weights, pool noodle, coats, hats. It actually holds quite a lot. We use them in aquafit class, and I thought I'll take a pool noodle with me, and when I go to a community center for a shower or something, I'll go for a swim and do some exercises, or in a lake or the ocean. A lot of food storage up here. And then creative things like laptop and that sort of stuff. And whoop. I have these are all CDs because this old van still has a CD player in it. And I also have a DVD player that I can plug in and watch DVDs on my laptop. And my bed is very comfortable. One of the things that I did, because mold can be a real issue in vans, so I bought, it's called an air vent flow. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a waffled, and it lets the air go underneath your mattress. And I also painted the platform with a mildew resistant paint. One of my biggest fears was buying a new mattress and then having it go moldy on me. So
What size is your bed?
it's a double, and I fit perfectly. I'm 5'5", half an inch shorter than I used to be. And yeah, it's very, very comfortable. And then I just found at a thrift store an old cork board. So I keep journals and pens and anything I might need at night right here. So that comes in really handy. When you open the back doors, there is a tiny bit of a garage there. I have a plastic container with things that I might need, like if I'm camping, an axe or whatever, extra oil. I keep checking the oil on these things. And I also have for power a Jackery battery, which I keep in here. It's a Jackery 500, and I can charge everything in there at night. I find the Jackery 500 is more than enough power for me. I can watch things I can watch YouTube channels like Adelina's. I can charge my phone, any devices that I have with me, and usually I plug it into the cigarette lighter when I'm driving, and then I charge it up that way. I do have a solar panel for it, and before I left my Sticks and Bricks house, I charged it up on the house power. But yeah, it's more than enough. I don't use the lights like that come with the van very often, even though there's a house battery. I have my Lucy lights, which are solar powered, so I just put them in plant hangers.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so when they run down, when the power runs down, I put them on the dash on a sunny day when I'm driving, and they just charge back up. There's 3 different intensities plus a flashing. And then these ones my granddaughter bought for me, and they run on batteries. So one thing I did do was I cut out all the old blinds with the intention of making new ones like Adelina's nice ones. They didn't work out very well. I'm using them, but I'm going to have to redo them. So, yeah. But I'm totally comfortable in here. Everything I need really is in here, and as long as I've got Charlie with me, then
Yeah. You're good.
it's a cozy home. I decided to become a full-time nomad after doing a 4.5-month cross-Canada road trip last year. And there was such a sense of freedom. I'd been wanting to do that trip since I was 17, and last year I turned 70, and I thought, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So I did it. I went from BC all the way to Newfoundland, down into the New England states, and then back across the Midwest of the US, and it was amazing. And when I got home, I found that I was spending way too much time watching TV again, and I was just feeling a loss of that sense of freedom that I had gained, and seeing new places and meeting new people, and I wanted that again. And I thought, okay, well, let's do full-time. Let's at least give it a try. And this is just my 3rd day of full-time van life, and I'm so excited for what's to come, especially through the rest of the spring and the summer and the fall. And I can weather the winter if I get my furnace fixed, and we'll see what happens. You know, nobody knows what the future's going to hold, and so if you have a dream of doing something, whether it's van life or tiny house life, just do it. Just do it. Don't wait. It's an amazing, it was life-altering for me. It really was. And the confidence soared for me. And I can't recommend it highly enough.